What was your first thought when you came to the United States? What was your first impression?
Take me back home.
Morty.
Alright, limits don't exist till we put them there.
Guys, welcome to the Elevate podcast. This is gonna be interesting in terms of understanding where we came from. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So my co-host here is John.
What's up, bro?
How you been? It's been a minute since you pull up on the podcast, right?
Yeah, I've been alright. We are up and running these previous weeks.
We've been busy.
Yeah.
We've been busy. What was your first thought when you came to the United States? What was your first impression?
Take me back home.
What made you to think that at first?
Well, there was a lot of shift in my life personally.
Mhm.
Like well, firstly it was the neighborhood that we arrived in. Like it wasn't really as safe. I was hearing police gunshots at the time. I was like, what's really going on here? So I didn't really know there was more to the place than that. So I was like, no, I feel so unsafe here. But um eventually it got okay. But another one was just the responsibility I have to take for myself. Yeah, because of course I was responsible for myself, but not as responsible because I I don't really have like my parents to look up to like that because they're far.
Because you came, you and your brothers.
Yeah, just me and my brothers, and it's just guys. Everybody has their thing going on, so it's almost like each man for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, what is this? What I'm getting myself into? Take me back home. Yeah.
But would you say that Take Me Back Home came from the environment, change of environment, or the fact that you were growing to becoming your own person and wanting to leave the nest of your own parents?
Um, I feel like to some extent I wasn't really used to change because when I was back in Zambia, I wasn't really a person that traveled a lot. So I was kind of in one geographic space for my whole life basically. So I didn't really have that luxury to move around or to come out of my bubble as far as exploring places are concerned. So when it was time for me to move, funny enough, I moved to a place very far from home, a lot of miles away. So that was kind of a very big deal for me, and it wasn't really as interesting in the beginning. Yeah, I would say. But what would you say? How was it for you?
It was aesthetic.
Okay.
It was it was a new experience because for the first time I'm coming in contact with an environment that is very different. See,
Yeah.
the opposite of you is that I was constantly moving when I was in Zambia, Tanzania. We
Yeah.
were constantly moving. And there was a period of time in my life where I lived by myself.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
So when we came to the United States, I was young. That's number one. And number two, they had good food. Well, not good, but just, they had more food. They got a lot of food. So,
Yeah.
like as a kid, you start realizing, like, well, I can eat whatever I want here. I don't have to share a portion with my little brother,
Yeah.
and it's just abundant of food and abundant of um opportunities, and the school was different. It
Yeah.
wasn't as strict as Zambia. So because of that environment, I was just I was thrilled. I didn't like the cold though. The cold made me want to go back.
Oh yeah, it's
That
very
was
cold out here when it gets cold, and
uh,
more so the food part that you touched. I think that's interesting because um I think problems here are more advanced than they are where we come from.
yes.
Because where we come from, you have to constantly worry about what you're gonna eat the next day, what you're gonna wear the next day. Um, yeah, the basic needs. You work so hard to maintain a middle class life, but then when you come here and you do any little work that you find yourself doing, you're able to access every basic need that you need to access. So your
Yeah.
problems are now more advanced. You're not worrying about the bigger thing out
Yeah.
there. But then it's where we come from. It's almost like, okay, so what am I gonna eat today? You know, that luxury of well, they cooked food at home and I don't like it. You know what? I'm just gonna go to McDonald's or something. There's nothing like that
Yeah.
at home. If you find, what do you call that? Fufu, bro. You're gonna, bro. You eat fufu in the afternoon, night, twice a day, sometimes thrice a day.
3 times a day.
You keep eating it,
And whatever
So-
is provided as
yeah, you don't really have that luxury, but here it's almost like there's a variety, so you don't really even have to worry about what you're gonna eat the next day or what you're gonna wear the next day. But there's still a lot more that is presented to you that you still feel like you have to achieve. That's pretty much how I look at it.
So the hierarchy of need has shifted to where you're no longer in a survival mode where you need the basic needs like shelter, food, but now it's more of psychological needs,
Yeah,
fulfilling your dreams, fulfilling your purpose, and also like paying bills.
yeah, of course. I
And-
mean, of course the bills part is a bit different, but again, like I said, as long as you're working, you're able to take care of yourself
Yeah,
out here. Like, of course they're quite expensive relative to where we're coming from, right?
very.
But we work and we take care of them.
Yeah, because it's not an issue because the opportunity of working is there, and because the opportunity of work is there, you can always provide for yourself.
Exactly. So it's almost like, but that is where I was like, I was a bit. It was a bit of a change for me because that wasn't always how I was back home. I remember there was a time when, of course, I had some time where I had to work for myself at some point back home because I enjoyed it, of course, not because I had to, right? And but I was in school, right? I was in university, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So my dad had to take care of me throughout, like sending me money basically every month, an allowance, paying for my accommodation in school, paying for everything. And when school is done or when we're on a vacation or whatever, I just go back home and eat whatever is there. So I didn't really have that urgent need to like look for money like that, or rather pursue money like that.
Don't you think that stemmed from the fact that your dad was able to create was economically stable enough to be able to provide that for you, rather than just being in the environment?
Well, it's not really about economic stability. It's just a difference in how this place and that place is. It's just the difference between the two places. Like here, as soon as a kid is 18 years old, they are expected to at least take some responsibility for themselves.
Pretty much leave the house.
Yeah, pretty much leave the house for some households. But then where I come from, it's almost like Parents are having that burden constantly, and they have that responsibility constantly to take care of their children until that kid decides to live by their own, or rather themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much different. Of course, there's a few cases where some parents choose to be responsible back then. They don't really take care of the kids like that, but for the most part, I feel like most parents in Africa are really trying to take care of their children. So it's almost like, of course, with the way I tell you about school in Zambia, the way it's very involving. It's so involving. So it was almost like, because I had a business actually in my first year of school,
Mm.
and I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I would just let my dad take care of me, and he did. So it was almost like he had to take responsibility all the time, making sure that I'm okay and whatnot. And when I go home, it's everything is available, at least what he could provide. So it was almost like moving from that place and coming to this place where if I don't work, I might not eat. Yeah, if you don't work, you might not eat, of course. So it's almost like, yeah, you have to grind every single day. You have to think about your next move every day, right? To make sure that you're in a better place. So that's pretty much how I look at it. So that shift was kind of interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there's a scenario that is like playing out in my head. Someone who grew up here, they reach 18 years old.
Yeah.
For the 18 years of their life, they have been taken care of by their parents,
Yeah.
and they don't have to really lean on to themselves to provide, right?
Yeah.
But let's say they move out and they want to live by themselves. Now they take that responsibility of having to work and having to provide for themselves. Now they can no longer look back. In that stage, your dad was there basically.
Yeah.
But when you came here, it's like, oh, now I just gotta be me. What I'm failing to kind of like differentiate that from just. I mean, I do understand the environment has like changed, and you coming here made it like that because you left your dad.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be the same thing if you were here, like for example, with the same value that your dad has, right? Let's say we put the same scenario here, but you have to go to college, to a different state.
To a different state. I mean, I see people here just having the need to take care of themselves, and of course, work is a job is easily accessible here compared to where I come from,
Yeah.
as far as someone with that experience is concerned. So it's pretty much different because most people here start when they're young and build up from there. But then where I come from, it's almost like someone has to go to school, and hopefully someone taking care of them in university or college. And then when they're done, maybe at like 25, 26, that's when they're trying to start gathering experience, or starting to have experience of some sort. But then here I see people who are barely 25 and they have some good resume.
Yeah.
They have a lot of experience and whatnot. So it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty much just the difference in the two places.
That is true. I was one time I started working,
Yeah.
I saw this kid pull up in a Tesla. Now, back in 2021, 2020, Tesla was like, if you drive in a Tesla,
Yeah, it
you
was a
must
big
be
thing.
really- yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, how old are you? He was like, I'm 21. And I'm like, 21? Working here and making this type of money where you buy a Tesla? And then he was like, hey, you just gotta work hard, man. I mean, I live by myself and I take care of myself and I got this. I was like, bro, there's something that these people know that they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
And also the environment also cater for that kind of possibility where you can actually be that young and be able to fulfill something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Exactly.
It's a bit different. What is one thing you would say that has changed from now in terms of like how you view your impressions to United States, living here, than the first impression that you had? Because now you've been here for how long now?
Uh, almost 2 years, I think.
Almost 2 years. So
Close
in
to
those 2
that.
years, as your thoughts on it,
Yeah,
your first
actually,
impressions
it
changed?
has, and it's I think it has very much because I saw the possibility of you attaining whatever you want uh, when you put your head and mind to it. Yeah, so I saw that possibility, and it was so fascinating to see that most things are possible here, and as long as you put your mind and effort to attaining something, there's 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 really a high chances that you attain that. Yeah, but again, also there was also another factor because I remember when I told you that when I was coming here, I was in my fourth year of
Yeah.
university,
Mm-hmm.
so that was also another one, right? So
Mhm.
I'd be honest to say I even when I was back home, I didn't want anything to do with this place. At least in that phase I was in,
Mm.
because I was like, okay, I'm working towards this. I had my life planned out in a certain way. Yeah, so I was in university, fourth year, about to graduate, almost graduating, and of course I knew that one day we're gonna go to America, but I was just like, I just gave a blind eye to that. So this random day, my brother calls me, is like, "Oh, I think this thing is approved. We might have to leave in the next 2 weeks." I was like, "Bro." So I really didn't look forward to it like that. Maybe that's also another factor.
Mm.
But then the thing is, I had a couple of friends I was talking to, like, hey, bro, like, this is what's going on with me. I might have to leave this place soon. Um, I'm really feeling bad. And these guys are telling me congratulations. Like, "Ah, congratulations, bro, you're going to America." I was like, "Ah, bro." And I remember talking to another friend of mine, a spiritual friend. It's like, "Bro, can you help me pray about this?" And this guy is like, "Bro, we don't even have to pray for that. That's the will of God."
It's like we don't gotta pray for
Bro, we
that,
don't
right?
even have to pray for that. That's the will of God. So I had all those frustrations. And when I came here, it was hard for me to like start from where I ended back home. So it
Yeah,
was almost like I had to start over
mm,
school and stuff. So I was like, what? I'm about to be a freshman again. And that was like I was a freshman in like 2020, 2021, and I had to start all over again. So it was it's quite rough.
it
So
felt
the
like
whole
you
time
postpone your life, kind of
yeah.
setback, like it was setback.
Yeah. Yeah, I was battling with a lot of frustration in the first few months. I was so frustrated. Everything I was seeing was just like I wish I was just home at this point. Even when it go to cooking, I'm like, what, bro? And then at that time in the first month, I didn't have the luxury to eat the way I eat now, where whenever I want to eat, I can just go out and get some food or whatever. Then it was almost like I just have to cook for me to eat, and I don't even have recipes whatsoever. So every time I want to cook, I'll probably call my mom or my grandma to give me recipes. Like, so how do I do this? And she's like, okay, put the water. Wait, don't let the water boil. I was like, I don't like that, but I had to cope with it eventually.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had to adapt in some way.
But I feel like your case is different and is much better because you were younger, so there
Mine is
wasn't really a
different.
lot to adapt to because
There was
you
there was a lot to adapt, but not like yours in sense of like where one you were an adult,
yeah
and second you came with your brothers, not with your mom and dad and
yeah
your parents. I came with everybody, so I had that sense of like nothing changed in terms of the people that I had,
Yeah.
those are the people that I always grew up with. I always had them.
Yeah.
So that nothing changed there. The only thing changed was just the location and how we operate.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that like big different for me. I didn't have to worry about. Well, also another thing is like you had to learn how to cook basically.
Bro, I haven't even learned. Why are you speaking as if
You were
I know
making
how to
something
cook?
yesterday.
Bro,
The pasta.
What? Bro, the pasta you found me making yesterday, I didn't even eat it. It didn't taste so good. It's in the fridge right now. I went and still bought something from the restaurant or
Really?
something. Yeah, bro. I mean, it's cooking, bro. I hate cooking. I hate cooking with passion.
Which passion is
What?
crazy.
Before yesterday, the last time I cooked was like a month or 2 months ago.
Wow.
So yesterday I was just like, let me try and make some pasta with ground beef. I was like, okay. Saw some recipes, had to watch something, added whatever spice I have in the house, everything. And it was disastrous, but my brother said he found it fine to eat and it was delicious. I was like, okay, I can have it. Yeah. But it's
Can you-
interesting.
Can you make rice and eggs?
Rice and eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's watery, sometimes sometimes watery, sometimes it's one is fully cooked, another is not fully
It's not
cooked,
fully
and
cooked.
you just put it there.
Mm. I
But
mean,
yeah.
but it's also like sounds like just being by yourself. Also, it has a dynamic to it because you've never exposed to eating. I mean, cooking.
Yeah.
So that also changed.
But again, like all in all, I feel like my perspective has changed drastically. Like how I look at the place in general, like it has changed. I'm more comfortable now, and I feel like I'm in a place where I I don't really wish to go back. Like I don't really feel like I have stuff to return to like permanently.
Mm.
So I'm in a place where I feel like I'm a bit comfortable. I'm able to access my family here and then. Of course, when it's time and when I'm ready, I can visit them. But I've felt I found some level of stability here. And I, of course, like I came when I already had a plan about myself, rather for myself. And then when I came here, I had to start from square one again. But I still adopted the plan. I didn't change my initial plan, but I just had to do some adjustments because of the shift. Yeah. But then now I'm looking at my plan and it's working according to to plan. So I'm like, yeah, this is it. And it's even working much better than I had put it. So it's almost like, yeah, this is gonna work for me.
So positively, your perspective on the
Yeah.
whole scenarios has shifted positively.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just had to be positive about it. I was like, whoa, because I'm one that doesn't really like to be in a perpetual state of always worrying about something. I have to do something about it, right?
Yeah.
Like we have to do something about it. So if I am in a place where I'm like, yeah, this place I don't like it, and I go on like that, days will still move and I will not have achieved anything.
Yeah.
So I'm more solution oriented. I'm like, okay, yeah, I was frustrated for a short period of time, but I was still like, you know what, I gotta get up now and see what I can do about this thing.
Opportunity wise, what do you think, based on your feel in economic, do you think you would achieve more here?
Absolutely. What,
Yeah.
bro? Bro, not economics, everything. Bro, it's bro, What do you mean, bro? Bro, I was shocked to find that the nurse here is one of the best careers. Bro, nurse is where I come from, bro. What? Now everything here, a nurse, psychology, do economics, business, whatever,
Yeah.
human resource, everything here is almost like there's some opportunity tied to it, and if you just like plan your career properly, you should be able to have some good fortune. But then, yeah. So it's a good place. It's a good place for opportunities, and you just have to go out there and get it and do the right thing.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good one. I've done some research, especially on what my program is and what I want to do with it. Seems pretty much possible, and yeah.
It seemed more plausible compared to. But you see, what's interesting is like I think it might have taken you. I don't know how long it took you, but to have that kind of perceptions when it comes to the availability of opportunity here,
Yeah,
rather than just being frustrated about the fact that you were set back due to you coming to the United States.
yeah,
So
true.
I think that like the whole shift in that perspective and how you see that, it's key moment because some people would just dwell in the fact of being set back.
Yeah,
And you always just gonna look at it from the realizations of I was set back, therefore I'm just gonna hate this place and play the victim or
yeah, that's how. But you don't want to leave like that. Usually, and you can relate that to not just this aspect of one's life, but in general.
yeah.
You're of course going to be faced with some challenges in everything you're doing, but it's how you approach that challenge that you see some success in it.
Yeah.
But if you are a person who is constantly dwelling on just looking at what the challenge is and not doing something about it, you'll be in a perpetual state of worry. You'll always be worrying. You won't be at peace. You'll be insecure, everything. Because it's almost like you haven't taken the shot for yourself.
Mm.
Because there's really nobody that is out there working themselves off to change your life. I've told you this before, right? Like we're friends, yeah, but I I don't have that much in me to wake up early in the morning and go to work so that I can change my friend's life or someone else's life. That's 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 a false narrative. Everybody that wants to at least attain something great in life, they would have to have taken it upon themselves to just go out there and change their lives for themselves. Unless you want to be a person who receives handouts all the time, but then there's only so much you can receive in handouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just build on yourself. You become more bitter and you hate the world and you become a victim. You start having this victim mentality. But at the end of the day, only you can lift yourself up.
Yeah, I remember there's even a reel you sent me, and this guy that was saying there's nothing as what there's nothing so there's nothing worse than a man who isn't able to change their life. I don't know. I'm just paraphrasing it because I've forgotten the right words. But you remember it, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that hurts so much than not being able to change your life. Basically, like it's so I don't know how I would be able to survive
I
if
think
I
it was
just
like there's nothing worse than you dying not fulfilling your potential. Something in
yeah
that sense.
yeah
Like
something
dying
like
with
that.
your dreams and not fulfilling that which is inside of you coming
Yeah,
to
that's
fruition.
I'm like, what? So we basically we just have to make the change for ourselves and make sure that we achieve everything we want to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The land is yours to take.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming up here. I think we're gonna close here soon.
Yeah.
Fire questions. One thing you would say you're grateful for here, just being here in the United States.
I'm actually grateful for a lot, but mainly I'm just grateful for life. Yeah, I'm grateful for the gift of life. It's something that I can't really take for granted, honestly. Yeah, to see myself being able to survive this way, as far as what uh, I'm 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 having to involve myself in is just, I don't know, it's just so precious. Like it's a lot of, and like everybody has a lot of things going on. It's a lot of things going on, and just seeing yourself pulling through
Yeah.
every single day,
Yeah.
I feel like it's something you have to be grateful for.
Mm.
Because of course, like the way we were saying earlier about opportunities being accessible, and as long as you work, yeah, you're going to work, but you're definitely earning that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to work, but you're definitely earning that. So that, just that, just seeing myself still standing is something that I'm very much grateful for. Sometimes I look at it and someone would be like, "Whoa, you're so strong. I feel like you're so strong." I'm like, "Thank you." But when I go back to where I'm by myself, I'm just like, "Good. I'm not really as strong as people out there think of me to be, or rather as smart as people out there think of me to be." But it's all you. At the end of the day, it's all God. At the end of the day, so yeah, I just mm, give the glory back to Him. Like, yeah, you deserve it. It's all yours. Yeah. But what about you though? What's that one thing you're like, I'm so grateful for,
The gift of life.
bro? I don't. I think we would be arrogant to not be grateful for life, bro. Grateful for life, like you're just taking it so passively, bro. It's something that I look at and I'm like, yeah, this is this is actually interesting.
Yeah.
I
This
don't
is
have a much better word, but
no.
it's
Yeah.
it's just it's just so interesting. Yeah, it's just so interesting. But all in all, we're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should still hit the goal and achieve our dreams.
Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, most definitely. There's no two ways about it. It's either we do it or we do it.
Yeah. That's literally.
Yeah, it's either I make it
Or
or
you
I
don't
make
make it.
it. There's no two ways about it.
There's no. Oh, you don't make it. Either you make it or you make it,
Yeah.
or you die trying. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to, you still have to make it.
So I was listening to something. You actually put me on a Efa Anakazo,
Yeah.
and he said something that was intriguing. He said, what is the point of living a life without fulfilling, without living it to the fullest, or without fulfilling the purpose?" And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's like we wake up in the morning and you're spending like hours just doing pointless things that are of no contribution to your dreams or your purpose. And I'm like, this is what we ask for. This is life. We're in the middle of it, you know.
Yeah.
This is what we ask for. Like, it's at some point you have to get to the point where you're just so tired of seeing someone else's life play out and yours just there, not moving forward. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I also feel like we are in a process.
Yeah.
It's more of a process than just something going on. I feel like even like what I shared to you about the whole move shift and me having to start over school. To some extent, I had to question myself and questioning God, like, is this really it? Right? Like, is this really it? But one impression I got was just that, yeah, it's a process.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a process. Even just the way things are running right now, right? Like you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. It's just so busy, and sometimes you sit back on a stressful day. Maybe you're tired, and you're like, "Am I really supposed to be doing this?" And the first word that comes to you is, "It's a process."
Process.
It's a process. What being taken into a process, and eventually we'll live to testify that we were taken into a process and we came out, we emerged victorious.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
John, I think we hit that timer. But thanks for coming, and I'll be seeing you again here soon
Yeah,
on
of
another
course.
podcast of the Elevate. Any last word to the fans?
Yeah, subscribe and like the the page. Subscribe, like, share.
What do you, Bonji?